She chose the wrong siblings, immune to her magic, forged by her cruelty, trained by her nightmare. Now she needs them for her ritual, but first, she has to survive them. She won't. The movie begins on a cold, silent winter night. Deep in the woods, far from any town, a lone house stands in the darkness. A man emerges from the trees with a flickering lamp, his face tight with fear. He goes inside where his wife desperately pleads with him. He must take their children into the heart of the jungle and leave them there.
Take them into the forest, now.
With a heavy heart, the man leads his young son and daughter, Hansel and Gretel, into the wilderness and abandons them. The two children wait, hoping their parents will return. When hope fades and the cold closes in, they venture deeper into the forest. After wandering for some time, they stumble upon something extraordinary. A house made entirely of gingerbread, its walls covered in glittering sweets. Hungry and unaware of the danger, they step inside. The house belongs to a cannibalistic witch who immediately takes them hostage. She forces Gretel into slavery and locks Hansel in a cage, fattening him up with endless candy. When the witch decides it is time to cook Hansel and drags him out of his cage, Gretel breaks free from her chains, grabs a knife, and lunges forward. The witch fires a spell directly at her, but it has no effect. Gretel is completely immune. She stabs the witch and shoves her into her own blazing oven. This nightmare forged the siblings. Immune to witch magic, Hansel and Gretel grew up to become professional witch hunters, feared across the land. Years later, the scene shifts to the town of Agsburg. The local sheriff, Berenger, is about to execute a young woman named Mina on charges of witchcraft.
This woman will burn!
Hansel and Gretel arrive just in time and intervene to save her.
This is not a witch.
Mayor Angelman announces to the crowd that he has hired the famous pair to investigate a wave of dark magic and a string of missing children. Sheriff Berenger loudly objects, and Gretel responds by breaking his nose with a single punch. The mayor directs the siblings to a strange cottage in the northern forest to begin their investigation. Inside, Gretel finds a witch, and the fight is immediate. The witch escapes on a broomstick through a window. Hansel, a sharpshooter, lines up the shot and brings her down. He chases a crashed witch through the trees, dodging her spells in a brutal back-and-forth exchange. After a hard struggle, they finish her. Back in the village, they inform the mayor about the blood moon.
That is called the Blood Moon, Mayor.
A rare celestial event just 3 days away.
3 nights from now.
For witches, it is a sacred night, and they believe it is the reason so many children are being taken. The mayor introduces a local outcast named Jackson, who knows the forest better than anyone, to guide them. Meanwhile, the humiliated Berenger decides to act independently. He hires a band of mercenaries to hunt the witches himself, hoping to undermine the mayor and seize power. That night, the men set up camp in the forest, laughing confidently around a fire. Their arrogance is short-lived. The Grand Witch Muriel emerges from the darkness and slaughters every one of them, leaving only a single survivor to deliver her message. She places a terrible curse of hunger on the survivor and sends him staggering back to town. The moment he reaches the town square, his body violently explodes. Gretel, witnessing the carnage, immediately recognizes the signature of a powerful witch's curse. Elsewhere, the 3 main witches hold a secret meeting. Their plan is revealed. They have been kidnapping children to sacrifice during the blood moon.
Your plan is working.
The ritual will grant them immunity to fire, their greatest weakness.
We will be invincible.
Luring Hansel and Gretel to Agsburg was also part of the scheme, though their true reason for wanting the hunters nearby remains a mystery for now. The next day, Hansel runs into Mina at the market. She shows a clear romantic interest in him. During this encounter, a lasting consequence of his childhood captivity is revealed. The witch force-fed him so much candy while fattening him up that it caused a permanent magical ailment.
The witch made me eat so much candy I got sick.
A form of magical diabetes. Hansel must regularly inject himself with a special medicine. Miss a dose, and he could die. Determined to get answers, Hansel and Gretel set a trap using a statue that mimics the sound of a crying child. A witch arrives, drawn by the bait, and is ambushed. When she tries to flee on her broomstick, Hansel makes a daring leap and grabs on, clinging to the broom mid-air. Together they overpower her and drag her back to town as a prisoner. Under interrogation, she reveals a critical detail. The ritual requires exactly 12 children.
The blood of the 12 moons will soon be collected.
And only one more child remains to be taken. She also taunts them. The other 2 witches are already on their way to grab that final child right now. Hansel immediately rushes to protect the last child, while Gretel stays behind to guard the prisoner. This is precisely what the witches wanted. Muriel launches a direct assault on the town while personally confronting Gretel. The third witch, Clara, goes after the final child, captures her, and hands her to a hulking troll named Edward to be transported away. Free to fight, Clara then turns her attention to Hansel. Their battle is brutal. Hansel beats her to the ground, but she revives and gains the upper hand. As she moves in for the kill, Hansel grabs her own weapon and drives it into her eye. Bleeding and enraged, Clara tries to flee on her broomstick, but Hansel grabs on and rides it up into the sky. Back in town, Gretel fights Muriel in a desperate struggle. Muriel overpowers her quickly, but instead of finishing her off, she reveals a chilling truth. She cannot kill Gretel because Gretel is the final and most important ingredient for the Blood Moon ritual.
I'm not going to kill you. Not now.
The last ingredient.
In the chaos, a teenage fan of the witch hunters named Ben helps the dazed Gretel escape into the night. Muriel arrives too late, finding only her injured sister in an empty town. Gretel wakes up in the home of the outcast Ben. As her head clears, she notices a drawing among his collection of strange artifacts. It is a picture of her mother. Ben explains that her mother was a witch who lived quietly, far from town, never using her powers to harm anyone. The superstitious townspeople eventually discovered her secret and burned her anyway. Gretel is shattered by the revelation and storms out to find her brother. Meanwhile, Hansel has fallen from the broomstick and is tangled in tree branches. He is rescued by Mina, who tends to his wounds with quiet care, deepening the connection between them. At the same time, Gretel is ambushed in the forest by Sheriff Berenger and his remaining men, who blame the hunters for the violence in town. From the shadows, Edward the troll watches, and then acts. He smashes Berenger and his men, saving Gretel. When she asks why, he says simply that trolls are born to serve witches.
Why did you save me?
Trolls serve witches.
The implication is clear, and it leaves Gretel unsettled. While searching for each other, Hansel and Gretel both end up inside a crumbling old house deep in the woods. Gretel mistakes Hansel for an enemy and attacks him. They struggle and tumble down into the basement before she finally recognizes him. Looking around the decaying house, they make a chilling discovery. It is their own childhood home.
But I think this is our old house.
The very place they lived before their father led them into the forest. Overcome with emotion, Gretel tells Hansel what she learned from Ben. Their mother was a witch. Before they can process it, Muriel appears in the doorway. Now all the secrets come out. Muriel reveals that their mother, Adriana, was a white witch, one who never used dark magic and had chosen to live quietly with a human husband. It was Adriana who made her children immune to witch spells. Muriel needed a white witch's heart for the Blood Moon ritual, but Adriana was too powerful to face directly. So Muriel disguised herself as a human, went to the town, and told the people that Adriana was a witch. The townspeople burned her and the siblings' father beside her.
They died to save you.
Hansel attacks Muriel in a blinding rage, but she stabs him easily and takes Gretel with her. Hansel regains consciousness to find Mina kneeling over him with a healing liquid. His wounds close before his eyes. In this moment, another truth is revealed. Mina is also a white witch, and she has been watching over them. She tells him that Muriel has taken Gretel to the mountains for the witches' Sabbath, a massive gathering under the blood moon where the darkest magic is performed. To prepare for the battle ahead, Mina uses Adriana's ancient grimoire to bless all of Hansel's weapons, giving them the power to kill dark witches. Hansel, Mina, and Ben set out for the mountains. Along the way, Hansel lays traps in the forest for any witches trying to flee and stations Ben in a hidden position with a powerful shotgun. At the peak, a terrifying scene unfolds. Dozens of witches have gathered. The stolen children are locked in cages. Gretel is bound to a stone altar, ready for sacrifice. As the blood moon rises and the ceremony begins, Hansel steps into the open to draw the witches' attention. Mina opens fire from cover, her blessed bullets cutting through the coven. Hansel fights his way through the chaos and frees the children from their cages. Seeing her ritual collapsing, Muriel moves to kill Gretel herself, but Edward turns on Muriel and breaks Gretel free, honoring his true purpose, to serve the White Witch's bloodline. Gretel and Muriel clash in a furious fight. The blood moon passes and the ritual is broken. Most of the coven is dead. Muriel flees on her broomstick with a few survivors, but they trigger Hansel's traps in the forest and are destroyed. Muriel alone survives, until Ben shoots her out of the sky. Hansel and Mina track Muriel to the last place they expect, the original gingerbread house from their childhood, rebuilt as a dark lair. Mina confronts Muriel and a fierce magical duel erupts. Despite Mina's courage, Muriel's dark power overwhelms her. She strikes Mina down with a devastating spell. Hansel rushes to her side and holds her as she dies, swearing revenge. He turns to face Muriel alone. Gretel arrives, wounded but determined, and the siblings fight together in an all-out battle against the Grand Witch. They gain the upper hand, and then Hansel's body betrays him. The insulin dose he missed catches up with him. He collapses to the floor, too weak to move. Gretel crawls to her brother and injects him with the medicine, while Muriel breaks free and regains control. It seems like the end, but the injection revives Hansel just in time. He throws Muriel to the ground, and together with Gretel, they decapitate her. The Grand Witch is finally dead. They return to Agsburg as heroes, burning Muriel's body in the town square as a declaration of victory. They collect their reward and move on, their work never finished. In the final scenes, the team has grown. Hansel, Gretel, Ben, and Edward now travel together as a true family of hunters. They arrive at a desolate location carrying a dead witch as bait. Edward smashes down the door of a hidden cottage, and with weapons raised, they step inside to face their next target. The hunt is far from over.